One day, I decided to spend the entire day walking around Madrid. I wanted to see how people live, what different areas feel, and try to capture the atmosphere of the city. It was 8 a.m. I took the subway to Salamanca to meet the morning sun. First thing first, I wanted to get a coffee. I read about few nice coffee shops, and instead of chasing the more popular Hola coffee, I decided to go to a place called Zero Coffee Roasters. Unfortunately, it turned out that January 6 is a public holiday in Spain, so my roastery was closed. Feeling a bit desperate, I lowered my standards and went to a place that always opened, Starbucks. After drinking my American-sized cappuccino, I finally walked around the area. Salamanca was incredibly beautiful and calm on this holiday. I read that the area is famous for luxury living, but it felt pretty authentic to me. The tourist in me started to wake up after coffee, and I decided to visit a few touristic spots. I checked out the only city monument in the world designed by Salvador Dalí. Then, for some reason, I walked to Estatua de Rana de la Fortuna, which is a frog statue supposed to bring good luck to people playing in the casino it stands near. And finally, I visited Torres Blancas, which is a very distinct brutalist building that looks bizarre on the Madrid skyline. Weirdly, I always have a strange feeling when looking at cold and grotesque brutalist architecture. They look unsettling to me, but I cannot look away. After that, I just wanted to see some nature. Apart from amazing landscape design, what the Spanish do well is parks. They are everywhere, they are huge, and they are gorgeous. Since I was quite close, I decided to visit probably the most famous of them in Madrid, El Retiro Park. It's a beautiful park, but I couldn't find the solitude I was looking for in El Retiro. Maybe because it was a holiday, maybe it's just the way it is, but the park was full of tourists, local visitors, performance and just crowds everywhere. After wandering around, I managed to find a few silent spots with nature, but I still wasn't satisfied. Not sure why, but many of similarly calm walking paths in El Retiro were taped off, but some people were still walking through there. Let me know in the comments if you know why is that. After exiting the park, I stumbled upon an absolutely incredible street, Cuesta de Moyano. On this charming street on the hill, you can find a year-round book market. They say you can even find rare out-of-print books here, and this outdoor market has been here since 1925. I love books, so I wandered there for quite some time. At this point, I started to feel hungry. While walking toward the restaurant, I visited another interesting place. Near the Caixa Forum Madrid, which is a cultural center of the city, 24-meter vertical garden was built. It looks exactly as it sounds. It's like a garden with its own ecosystem but hanging vertically on the wall on the building. If you come closer, plants and water create a strange feeling like you're somewhere deep in nature, despite the loud city road being right around the corner. The cafe I was initially planning to visit was also closed due to a holiday, so I searched for a good brunch place in the area of Lavapiés and found a nice place called Nomad Cafe. Despite not being my first choice, the place turned out to be very charming, especially with the seat I managed to secure, looking right out the street. Good coffee and a very tasty grilled cheese sandwich reignited my exploration spirit, so I continued my adventure. Since I was in Lavapiés, I decided to walk around that area. This area has left me with mixed feelings. The upper part was beautiful and edgy with incredible residential buildings. Exactly the type of area I like. The lower part, however, felt a little bit dodgy, with people looking at you like you don't belong there. Afterward, mostly trying to avoid the city center shopping streets, I headed toward the most touristic and famous place in Madrid, Palacio Real de Madrid. This place, as expected, was very crowded. The palace itself, though beautiful, was fenced off, only visible from a distance. After admiring some Spanish historical achievements, I discovered that I still was craving some nature El Retiro couldn't fulfill. So from there, I headed towards the biggest park and natural reserve of Madrid, Casa de Campo. And this place was incredible. It's absolutely incredible that just a few minutes from the most touristic places and royal palace you can get to this tranquility and silence in Casa de Campo. Bird. Amazing. I think Casa de Campo is now one of my favorite parks I have ever been in my life. After spending a few hours there, it was time to get back to the city. Unfortunately, I didn't pick the right exit from the park, and I ended up on a path next to the highway, so my tranquility was spoiled a little bit. But after a few blocks, I dived right into the city, in the residential area of Argüelles, which was very calming. While I was heading to the Malasaña district, very surprisingly at Plaza de España, I stumbled upon the Christmas market. Most of European markets closed right after Christmas, but here in Madrid it was in full swing on January 6. It was a nice discovery. Walking through Gran Vía, I got reminded how big this city really is and how many people live here. Some areas of Madrid create this calm provincial feeling, but it's still a huge city. I finally reached Malasaña, as they say it's the most hipster area of the city with bohemian vibes. It indeed felt very hipster and vibrant with cool facades of the buildings. I think I still liked Lavapiés a bit more, especially the northern part, as it felt a bit more real and residential, but it's not a competition. The sun started setting, so I decided it was time to get some dinner. I went to another area called Chueca, famous for its active LGBTQ+ community and epicenter of one of the biggest pride parades in Europe. After a long day of walking around the city, I treated myself to some burgers at the place called Mad Vegan. It was an incredible burger, but I accidentally ordered a beer with alcohol, though I don't drink. I only realized that after drinking half of the bottle. After the sunset, Madrid was filled with evening vibes. People walking after work and going to the dinner restaurants. Here I concluded my day of exploration and took a subway home. You will be the judge of Madrid, and I hope I managed to capture some vibes of it. I personally fell in love with the city in just this one day. It has many things I love, it has a good balance of areas for all kinds of people, it's not over touristic, it has incredible green reserves, it feels like a perfect city to live in, with nice local and expats alike. This video was a bit experimental, so I'm really curious, what do you think? Do